Have you ever noticed that a woman doesn't get attached to the man who gives her everything, but to the one who doesn't seem too interested, the one who doesn't chase her, doesn't beg for her love, and doesn't make her the center of his life? This isn't a coincidence. It's a deep, psychological reality. In this video, I'll reveal why a woman gets attached to the man who doesn't get attached to her, and why she is more drawn to the one who doesn't give himself away easily. I'll also explain the deadly mistakes most men make, thinking they're winning her love when in reality, they're pushing her further away. And I'll show you how to make her get attached to you without compromising your dignity, without acting or pretending, just by truly understanding her feminine nature. And if you enjoy this kind of topic, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and hit the like button so this video reaches those who truly need it. First, the psychology of women. Why she gets attached to the man who doesn't get attached to her. When we talk about a woman's psychology in love, the first thing to understand is that a woman isn't attracted to love in its direct form like a man is. She's drawn to what triggers challenge inside her, what sparks her curiosity, what makes her feel she hasn't fully discovered you yet. A woman's mind doesn't engage with too much clarity, but with the mystery that awakens her desire to analyze, understand, and explore. By nature, a woman is drawn to what's hard to attain because she sees added value in that difficulty. It makes the man seem more exciting and higher in status. A man who is always available, expressing his feelings constantly, and offering himself without her asking. Over time, she starts to feel he's lost some of his value, not because he's a bad man, but because he's too accessible. A woman loves to be wanted but doesn't like to be the one doing the wanting. When she feels that the man is the one chasing too hard, holding on too tightly, it disrupts her sense of balance. She begins to view the relationship as a form of emotional dominance where the scale tips too far in the man's favor and she loses control. That's when she starts to pull away without understanding why. On the other hand, when a man is present but not obsessed, gives attention but not attachment, expresses himself without making her the center of his life, she starts to feel something different. A mix of curiosity and attraction blended with a fear of loss. And when a woman is afraid of losing you, that's when attachment begins. This is a psychological rule. Attachment doesn't come from comfort, but from fear of loss and the desire to possess. A woman gets attached to the man she feels she doesn't fully have in her hands, the man she can't easily read, who doesn't always respond, who doesn't explain every action, who doesn't give everything at once. This is the man she keeps thinking about, even in his absence, because he awakens her instincts to analyze, follow, and guess. Mystery to a woman doesn't mean betrayal. It means you're not easy. And that's exactly what sparks admiration and respect. But the man who opens his heart, mind, diary, fears, and every detail of his life from the beginning, she sees him as someone who's already revealed everything. There's nothing left to discover, anticipate, or admire. And so, she pulls away with no clear reason. So when you see a woman getting attached to a man who doesn't make much effort and avoiding someone who loves her sincerely, know it's not about cruelty or ingratitude. It's a psychological nature that makes her see mystery as value and complete clarity as a weakness that doesn't excite her. This doesn't mean you should be rude or cold. It means you should keep a part of yourself to yourself. Don't play all your cards at once. Leave her with space for doubt, which stirs her emotions and keeps her heart awake and ready for attachment. Don't assume that all the love you give will be returned equally. It doesn't work that way. Instead, measure things by the emotions they trigger. Does your presence ignite her desire to be part of your world, or does she feel that you're just orbiting around hers? That's the difference between the man she gets attached to and the one she forgets, despite his sincere love. Second, mistakes men make that kill. Attraction, despite sincerity and care. The biggest mistake a man makes in his relationship with a woman is believing that love alone is enough, and that the more he gives, the closer she'll get. In reality, excessive love without awareness can suffocate the relationship instead of nurturing it. When a man loves sincerely, he can become weak without realizing it. He starts giving up his time, priorities, and self-respect just to please the other person. And when he feels that his care isn't reciprocated, he gives even more, as if trying to buy acceptance with his emotions. That's exactly what destroys a woman's attraction. Because a woman doesn't see a man who places himself beneath her as someone worthy of love. She sees him as a man who's lost his dignity and has fallen from her eyes without knowing it. The man who keeps asking, "Where are you? Why haven't you replied?" Or repeats phrases like, "I miss you. I need you. Why have you changed?" These are sincere feelings, but they reflect a lack of control and emotional imbalance. That's a red flag for a woman, because she doesn't see love as just emotion, but as balance, confidence, and emotional stability. Exaggerating your love makes a man seem like he has no life outside the relationship, as if his entire identity revolves around her. That creates an internal pressure that pushes her to gradually withdraw, because she doesn't want to be responsible for someone's entire emotional world. A man who constantly watches her, talks about his jealousy, gets upset when replies are late, or constantly tries to prove himself, is a man drained from the inside, draining her with him without realizing. Another mistake is trying too hard to please, saying yes to everything, fearing her rejection, never setting boundaries, and never saying no, even at the cost of dignity. This kind of man loses a woman's respect quickly. He no longer represents a challenge worth respecting. A man should be a source of internal security, not extra stress. And security doesn't mean submission. It means being present with strength, masculine jealousy, occasionally saying no with awareness, and standing firm in your stance. A woman doesn't love the man who runs after her, but she adores the one who walks beside her with confidence and never lets anyone walk over him in the name of love. There's a huge difference between being kind and strong and being weak in the name of love. Don't get it wrong. A woman isn't an enemy of emotions, but she knows how to distinguish between mature love and toxic love that turns into psychological pressure that makes her want to escape. The final mistake most men make is losing the sense of mystery, not knowing when to stop talking, when to be silent, and when to let her miss him. A man who doesn't allow space for longing loses his charm, because constant presence without breaks kills desire. A woman needs space to think, to miss, and to feel that you aren't 100% guaranteed. The more she feels that you're completely available, the more her desire fades gradually. Third, how to make a woman attached to you without getting attached. Yourself. To make a woman attached to you without being the one who suffers and gets too attached, you must first understand one simple but deep rule. A woman isn't attracted to the man who makes her the center of the universe, but to the man who has a universe of his own and chooses to let her into it, without giving her all the keys. A woman naturally respects a man who knows his worth, who doesn't beg for love or chase after attention. A man who gives himself in measured ways, who knows when to move forward and when to pull back, when to speak and when to remain silent. He knows how to keep his attractiveness even when absent, because he holds something that cannot be ignored. A solid presence and a dignity that doesn't require shouting or drama, just quiet inner confidence that confuses her and makes her think about him even without him saying a word. This kind of man doesn't ask too many questions. He doesn't seek her approval at every moment. He doesn't sacrifice himself to please a woman, but stands tall, proud. And when he loves steadily, not submissively. Make her feel that your presence in her life is a privilege, not a need. Don't let her see you as someone seeking shelter in her love, but as someone living a full life of movement, purpose, and ambition. And she's just a beautiful chapter in that story, not the whole book.